About your policy, your procedures,
Yes.
and all that? Okay. Can you put that in my Freedom of Information Act, that whole procedures and policy? I'll add it to it.
If you're wanting all these citations, we don't have to generate records to fulfill a records request, but it might be easier. Like I can run a report like this that shows all the parking tickets from that time frame.
Parking?
That's the easy.
Parking or on that list, does it say what they are?
I'm saying what I can do is I can refine. Yeah, absolutely. What I'm saying is that would be easier than printing like 37 citations and having to go through and see if there's any redactable kind of stuff on it. So that's what I'm saying. If your goal is to find out how many times we cite people down there for violating that ordinance, that's an easier way to do it than printing off 37, or I don't even know if it's 37.
I would love this. This is fine because it shows what it was for and the information that I would need. So this would be great.
Okay, and to save you a lot of money and us a lot of time. So I mean,
absolutely. I'm not trying to take up your guys' time. I'm trying to get public information.
Well, I understand, but also when you request massive, like hours of video, that does tie up a lot of our time. But that's
so I didn't know how much video because I didn't know how many tickets were over the weekend.
I gotcha. Well, your request was
for the citation over the weekend.
Read that request.
Your request asked for like
all body camera from Riley for May 28th and all yours from yesterday.
No, I meant there's one of them that you said. All body camera, dash camera from any of the reports
from above, which
or tickets.
The weekend. So how many citations?
No, what I'm saying right here at the very beginning it says any incident reports from May 24th to 27th. Any tickets from May 20. I thought it was 20.
And then the video.
The ticket was C.
The second.
Oh, right here.
This one says all body camera from you yesterday. And
I understand.
All camera from Riley the day I met.
Yeah.
No, I got that. That one's I got it. But it also says any.
Too much, and we need to call.
You also say any tickets with this code for 2 years, 23 and 24.
For the body camera for those, though.
Okay, well I'm just making sure because you say
I'm clarifying myself on that thing that I'm not asking for any body camera from 2023 and 2024 on those other than that weekend.
Okay. Well,
other than that weekend.
Well, I don't know how much it will be. She'll have to look, but I mean, that's the first thing. When people say all years, it's like it's like a lot.
Yeah, and I want to know how many times we're doing this and not fixing it as a city. The issue as a city, we're generating income off a problem that the city has caused and still hasn't fixed. There's no signs for grills down there. There's no signs for parking down there. There's hardly any red lines where your officer told me.
Okay, well here's the thing, we don't. Exactly.
But I'm going to have all this information of how much the city is generating off the park in their lack of taking care of the problem.
Okay.
That's what I'm after.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
I mean, kind of.
And that's why I was called to let you know that there will be costs because of that.
Also, if I want to come and just take pictures of all those incident reports, I can.
I still have to print them out.
But it doesn't matter. It says I do not have to be charged if I come and take my own my own pictures of that information. That's what the Freedom of Information Act says. So I would love to do that instead of being charged a whole bunch of...
Well, we don't have a unrestricted, I mean, I know like Fayetteville has a public computer where they basically have a whole records department where I guess they scrub the stuff and put it on there. We don't have that, and so I can't let you in here and just let you turn on your camera and film all this stuff. I mean, this is an ACIC terminal. We have restricted information. There might be...
Information Act says
I'm not
allowed to, as a citizen, have that ability. Are you denying the ability to do that?
I'm not denying anything. I'm trying to do the best I can to give you the information you can
this
within...
is awesome. This is what I'm looking for, exactly. So that could save a lot of time for those years.
Okay, and I can give you a list of incidents in similar fashion at the park, But I can't just let you look through everything, because literally to look over the list of incidents includes juvenile information because it's all in there.
It's public information.
Juveniles are
Juveniles
not
is
public
not,
information.
No.
It's public information.
We can't give juveniles date of births or anything like that.
Cross it off, but the whole
But I
That's what I'm saying,
can't.
that's what
You're
it
not
takes
listening. You're not
time.
listening.
Yeah.
I can't pull the stuff up on a screen. Let me finish. Let me finish.
and delete that information so the public can still have that information.
We're not required.
It says that in the state law that you cannot charge me for looking for the information or editing the information. You can only charge me for the information given to me.
So I cannot. One, we don't have to generate a record. So I don't have to generate it.
There's a record of it. Incident reports. Tickets.
I don't have to generate a record. So if I pull up my incident list on our system and I let you look at it, I'm violating people's privacy because there's exempt records on that incident list. So I can't just give you unfiltered access to restricted information. So if we generated records that were already redacted, then yes, there's people that put they put computers in their lobby and you can go through that. They've already been processed, redacted, and all the stuff that's public's released. They probably have a fancy computer system that does it automatically. We don't do that. So there's no way for me to legally give you access to look over my shoulder with a camera and go through our...
Over the shoulder. I'm not asking.
Well, you said to come in here and take pictures so we don't charge you to release it. I don't have a way of doing that.
Public records and reasonable comforts and facilities for full exercise of the rights to inspect and copy, including without limitations, copying through image capture, including still and moving photography and video and digital recording. These records shall not be denied to any citizen.
I'm not denying you records. I'm saying...
You need reasonable access to those records.
No, I'm
Reasonable.
not.
This is not reasonable for you to come in. It's authorized personnel
It's
only.
reasonable. Is it public records?
This is no.
They're not all public
They're not
records.
all.
Some of them have to be redacted because they have sensitive information in them that are not for public release. We don't have an incident list that I can just show you publicly. Now, I can do what I did on that paper right there for you. I can go through all our incidents and sort by all the incidents at the park, and then I can...
Charge a fee for the requester's inspection or copying, including without limitation, copying through image capture.
Where are you reading that?
It's in there. It's from the FOIA. I'm not denying what that says.
Okay.
We don't generate a
Take a
record.
picture of it. Let me just pull it up because I take pictures so I can refer faster for y'all instead of doing the work. So.
412, Mary. 3068 Victor Sierra Biona Silver Kia Sorento.
Hold on.
It is page 13. It's the very bottom of it. It's unit number 3. But not including existing agencies' personnel time associated with searching for, retrieving, reviewing, or copying the records.
That is for but if you go up, that's not what the category that we're in. That's a different public record.
There's 64 pages of
Yeah.
the handbook.
Which one are we referring to then?
We're on page
Which one did you send me? I give it back. I'm gonna read
page
that.
21.
What is it?
Page 21.
Page 21.
That is regarding law enforcement. The other one is like public entities. We're law enforcement, so we're different.
There's a lot of places that have public records and they literally maintain them where you can walk up to them at any time and see them.
Yeah.
Our records are
No
mixed.
charge. So if it's under 3 hours, it's no charge. Except the cost of reproduction of the media or unless the requester or requester's entity has made a request. I didn't do it under any entity. It's under the Watchman. Request more than 3 hours of personnel or equipment time to fulfill the request shall be charged at a rate. I'm going to read this real quick.
Yeah, that was.
All insurance reports. We haven't even finished all of it. RPS does have a way to release pre-redacted, right? I mean, in RPS we can.
Yes.
So once we
Yes.
get it in RPS,
Yes.
we can literally click redact
Yeah,
and it
'cause I
will
might
run
have
it
to-
off.
Yes. These are just like reports, but they're not, because I don't
It's just the
have-
narratives.
Because I don't have any,
They're not RPS
no,
stuff.
yeah. But I don't know about. But I think when he was talking about 1204, anything at the park, so I'm not sure.
I don't even know how we
I don't either.
do that without any ticket and report. The city code 1204 for this. Well, 1204 is the parking stuff.
No, it's
not?
everything.
That's anything in a park.
Yes, anything. Camping, fireworks, fires, vending.
I can look for citations. Excuse me. I can look for citations under that because
Yeah.
it's worded park dash
Okay, yeah,
fire park dash parking.
yeah.
That's what I already did there with the parking, is I was able to sort by just parking for that time frame.
Yeah,
I'll just have to look because the verbiage isn't always the same.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I use, and then I basically run off the entire thing from that time period, and then search for keywords of that statute.
This is unlawful city of Westfork ordinance. That's 1208, but it's,
That's it. Unlawful parking. That's one of them.
yeah. Illegal parking.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's what I did for that report for his.
Yeah.
And then just ran off a spreadsheet. Like I said, we don't technically have to do it because I'm now generating a record for him.
Yeah.
But it's quicker for everybody and cheaper for him. He's not paying for 30 pages of stuff when we can just give him the statistics, basically.
I'm pretty sure that on these tickets, let's just look.
So that shouldn't be too bad if we're not having to release everything from 2 years or a year and a half. I still don't know how much that is. But
Yeah. I don't know how much, like, because I don't know how much the city actually gets.
that's not,
Yeah.
we are definitely not
Oh,
the
no.
custodian record for that.
No, but he was saying that how much money the city's generated. I'm like, that's.
No idea.
Have you went to the courts
Courts for?
where you were? I was just, you were talking about how much money the tickets generated. Have you went to the courts to see how much it actually generates?
Well, I don't know because I don't have a copy of the tickets to go to the courts to see what was charged. Yeah.
Well, they have all the tickets. They actually.
Okay, well, I can go ask them if you'd rather.
No, I'm just saying that might be a better option, because
I'll get a statement from them after I review.
because
all the
they know the tickets don't even come to us. The tickets go to
You write them.
They write 'em.
Go to the next department.
they go to court, they enter them, and they adjudicate them, and they know how much money is, because some goes to the courts. There's not a lot for. I mean, the ticket's like $100, and
The pop.
no, I mean, I don't know how much tickets if they are,
They're $100 a pop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
but there's.
6.
Anyways, all we're saying is you're asking for stuff too, or you're.
But I don't.
On just this page you gave me here, I don't know if that's all of them.
So what I'm saying is you seem to have an objective, and I'm trying to help
trying
you
to help you
accomplish your
accomplish-
objective
yes.
without.
You have the objective.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
whole story. This is going to have a huge objective.
So what?
That's where we're trying to help you get to the
Police
story.
encounters, Freedom of Information Acts, and how they're handled in the state of Arkansas.
And
So,
we're not
you-
denying you
You
anything.
were great yesterday at your example of how a Freedom of Information Act was handled yesterday.
Yeah, it was accepted, and we've already started processing the very next day.
You accepted it, but you didn't do anything that I asked. Like
People
you
call
didn't
on the phone.
sign that you received it.
I don't have to sign anything.
So that.
I don't have to sign anything. It's documented.
Okay, man.
I don't. I'm here. I'm doing extra work.
Say to the public, I don't care what you do. I don't care anything about it. Let's let the public decide.
Listen, you can. We can work together, or you
I'm reading
can.
this so I can understand why you guys charge me.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie.
Let me know how much you guys are going to charge me.
So,
That's fine. Just
we were going to.
statement, or I need a invoice. Can I borrow a pen and write on that? I need the
Yeah.
procedures.
I don't.
What do you guys call your procedures?
I can add that. It's not a big deal. Policy manual. We can probably email that to you. It's not a big deal. That would be something that if we did have a computer out here, yeah, you could pull that up, take a picture of it, because our policies are every bit of that's public. There's no juvenile information in there. There's no private information in that. So stuff like that's easy to review with your little.
That's not what Freedom of Information Act says. And it's under exemptions, the part that I read you. It's not under
Okay.
any different.
So
It's under the
you-
exemptions of charges. So
Okay.
it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Send me an invoice. I will do what I have to do, and you'll do what you have to do. That's how this works, right? We move forward.
Okay, but we're trying to do this as respectful and easy as we can for our time and your.
Charge me whatever you like.
Okay.
What you gotta do.
Did you also mention the other thing we had? Dispatch stuff. So like, if you want to know dispatch logs and all that, we're not the custodian of records. So if you want to know like how many calls we.
Okay, so that's why I'm holding this up. I'm sorry.
You what?
I can't see your face because the glare on the glass.
Oh. Like for instance, a lot of this stuff is, since you're so broad or you say so much stuff, I want to be clear. Like if you talk about, let's say, the city ordinance about the barbecue grills, we're not the custodian of record for the city ordinance, so you'd have to talk to. Okay,
Yeah,
and then like
I got you guys what you need to handle, right? Is everything on my Freedom of Information Act to you supposed to be in this office?
No.
What should be out?
So the incident reports for any Westfork parks. So we're not we don't answer 911 calls here. We don't answer phone calls here. So
Westfork, County, I'm 10-4.
Washington County.
Okay.
So they keep track of all of our calls.
Okay, so if you don't write a ticket, you guys do instant reports of a call?
No.
not all of them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. So like if you call up and say, hey, there's somebody parked in the fire lane. And we get, hey, Westfork 2, we have a traffic complaint at Riverside. That's logged at our dispatch. I drive down there and I see, her unloading her stuff or whatever. I'm saying, hey, can you please stop the park? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll move. And she goes on. Nothing else is generated other than that log. So I'm saying,
I got the log from Washington County.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with Washington County.
okay,
I can handle that there, but I'm saying any incident report that was done here.
I got you.
I'm not asking for
And that's-
log information of any. I'm looking for any information that's stored here. Any
I got you.
incident.
and that's what I'm saying is, would you like it in that spreadsheet format?
This is fine.
Because that's what I can do, because I can pull that. We have a spreadsheet that shows incidents. I just can't show you all of
I have
it.
one that I would like a copy of after you give me this. Do I have to do another Freedom of Information Act, or
We can, and you can email us back and forth. We're not trying to be, the only thing I wouldn't say trying to be difficult on is when people ask for broad stuff and they want a whole bunch of stuff. We have one police secretary that works 40 hours a week, and if I'm down at the park for 3 hours, she now has to watch 3 hours of video to make sure we're not releasing. Like for instance, when you said all camera footage from yesterday, let's say I worked a domestic at your house, and your kid is suicidal. I'm not trying to think of something sensitive. You wouldn't want me to release the video of me in your home dealing with your kid who's in the middle of a suicide attempt to the general public.
Right.
So we have to.
In Lincoln, we don't need to share his name everywhere.
Exactly.
All over the news because everybody wants this to be released.
Yes, so we have to be careful what we release, especially with juveniles. There's been big lawsuits on that where agencies were trying to work this line of releasing it, but redacting it, but did they redact enough? So juveniles is a very hot topic right now. With
I say no juvenile
no.
reports at anything. I do not want, if you come across one, Move on.
No, and we're going to. What I'm saying is, she still has to review it. So when you ask for all video for a time period, she has to.
Exemption say that I should not be charged. Go over it. It's in the exemption section of how charges are handled. I cannot be charged for searching through information or redacting. I can only be charged for the things you are giving me.
I understand, but if we're going to give you all of those videos,
That's not my job to pay someone to redact information according to the Freedom of Information Act.
okay.
Exemptions. And if I'm reading that wrong, I definitely be a wrong person.
And I'm not by no means an
Can I have
expert.
that back?
An expert
Yes.
of the.
Sorry. Do you want to? Do you want a copy? Because this no,
That's not your policy, right?
We're gonna. I'll email you a copy of our policy.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to read that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just this is the one I keep at my desk so that I have it handy for when I do these, because I do these all day.
So, and listen, it's not lost on me the current state of freedom of information and public records and transparency, especially more at the federal level, in my personal opinion. This is Justin talking, not Sergeant Goggins, because they seem to do about anything with no records, no body cameras, and we never hear anything. But the federal government, federal law enforcement. So that's not lost on me, but the other side is that sometimes the kind of casualty in all this is we get overloaded with stuff when people want something. That's all I'm trying to balance, but especially like that. Like I said, I don't have to do that, but it's a win-win because I can run a spreadsheet, run some numbers, search by parking, boom, spit that out. It's one sheet of paper.
If this is on instant reports or tickets, then this is all I need.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
You've already got these from the county. Is that what you said? On dispatch logs.
I haven't got them yet, but I
Okay.
will.
Okay, you've already requested it?
I have not. I've not been there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we get them emailed to us,
Okay.
but we don't get everyone.
Okay.
So,
And sometimes
I
the
don't wanna-
email goes to spam,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so we don't want to, like, you didn't give us all, like, sometimes we don't have, and we're not technically the custodian of that record, they just share it with us.
I'm
But,
just gonna say,
yeah.
I seem like I have a problem because of the way I've been treated for so many times. I'm not trying to have a problem with anybody.
Well, I understand that, and I'm trying to be helpful,
that's what
but
we're trying to work with you and say, hey, what exactly
But-
are you needing? Because we'll try to get it the simplest, fastest way to you. Does that make sense?
but I have to point out too, feedback here. Like I said, when you say kind of ridiculous stuff like, "Why is it illegal to block an ambulance?" It's
You know what the law is?
there's a couple different laws you could use.
And I put it on your guys' Facebook page to show that there's different obstruction charges. I've been
Yeah.
charged with obstruction 4 times in my life, and I fought it 3 times, and I'm working on why
Where's that
I
other
actually
page?
wanted someone to chime in and go, that is a state law, and it's this. That's what I was looking for in my post, because I want to show that obstruction is used in the right way too, not always the wrong way.
Well, that's
But
not
it
the
is
way it's being-
Popo law. It is used against me a lot. When I come in here and do this, and I have this kind of attitude and this kind of determination, people get pissed off and they arrest me. I can show you 3 videos. Right?
But here's the thing, too.
Crawford County and Barling Police Department. So.
But you've already answered. You've already kind of made the point. When you come in with the attitude and you're on the defensive, it puts people on their heels, and that's.
It's not against the law.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was against the law, but then we.
What did you do with the other paper?
This gentleman here about it, I thought. Oh, I dropped it.
I'm like,
You know. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying it's against the law. I'm just saying then it turns both sides into putting up the defenses, and now we have to navigate, and it makes everything.
I'm on a
Yeah.
defense when I walk in because of how many times that
But-
I've
but
been
it-
restricted.
okay.
And I'm sorry that
So-
I come off that way, but I come off determined. Period.
It's okay to be determined, but there's a niceness way to do about it. And my mama always said you catch more bees with honey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, because I deal with bullies.
but
Bullies don't like honey.
But you're
Bullies don't like
assuming. Okay, can I talk?
Yeah, talk.
Are you assuming
I'm just
that
telling
everybody-
You gave me an incident where you were referring to something, and I can tell you that when I deal with people who tell me I'm not going to get public records.
We've never said you're not going to get public
Okay,
record.
I'm not saying you guys. I'm
Okay,
saying
but-
over
okay,
and over
can I-
and over.
can I just make
again,
one statement,
and then
though?
when I get told I'm going to be charged, even though
Yeah.
the Freedom of
But
Information
you're-
says something, and then I have to get determined again to make my point.
And so you're assuming that everybody's against you.
They are. All police departments are against me.
I'm not
My
against
sites are on my thing.
In your mind?
No.
So where are you getting it
How did
from?
you act yesterday, Courtney?
Like someone that wanted to deal with the.
I said,
Well, you answer a question and don't ever let anybody answer.
Talk.
That's one point right
Yes. If you let us talk, you might get here some answers.
But I'm making a point, and I'm going to make a point when I want to make a point.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I can make a point. What do you do for a living? I'm just curious.
What does it matter?
I don't
What
understand.
does it matter to you? sir?
Doesn't matter. You can ask questions.
Why do you ask that question?
I'm just curious. I'm just trying to understand the motivation and
The motivation.
the thing that goes on with this, because it doesn't. It's like that's the same right. Yesterday, why I dealt with you is because you were trying to have, from my take, you were trying to have a confrontation. You were trying to pick a fight, and that's why I just left. I don't want to argue with you
I just
over
asked you about
grills.
You got really defensive. But
I don't wanna-
It's all me. I understand.
Or once again, I can't finish a sentence without you beginning one. That doesn't help, man. That's what makes this difficult and contentious. What do you mean it's cop-splaining?
You're cop-splaining. What do you even do for work?
I'm just curious I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to relate to you. I'm trying to have we're just people.
Have a normal conversation instead of why I have to fight for public record.
Who are you fighting?
You guys. I'm going to have to be charged to get public records from the people I pay tax to take care of my city or my county or wherever.
The state does it. Everybody does it.
It says it. It's public records. It's
Yes.
not. It's not. I already pay taxes to get that information.
Yeah.
So that's why I get determined and I have an attitude because
and all she was trying to say,
getting the information I would like.
and all she was saying is the attitude gets in the way, and that makes people not want to.
Do you guys deal with attitudes?
Yeah, we do with a lot. I've dealt with people that I've taken to jail, I've fought felons, and most of them, 99% of them go better than our interactions between me and you.
I was a 911 dispatcher for 20 years. I've dealt with attitudes. 911, 20 years.
Sure.
But I didn't have to argue.
No, because I'm proving points that you.
What's your point? Tell me what your point is.
What's the point of the park grills in an ambulance? Because you've said stuff that doesn't make any sense. Like, well, is it illegal to keep an ambulance from going to the park? Well, of course it is.
Questions. I didn't say anything. I have questions.
Yeah, but they don't come off very well. I'm just letting you know. It's not. It's like it's.
Come off. Freedom of speech.
And
You don't like freedom of speech?
did I say I don't like freedom of speech?
It comes off a certain way.
I'm just no. I'm giving you feedback. Say why do I just walk away from talking to you? It's because the way you talk and the way you interact with people.
I had to drive from my job to here to get a policy when I can read it online that it says I have the right to have that public information, and I should not be charged for examining those information. That's why.
But you can't freely examine all of our records. It doesn't work like that. We have records that are mixed.
Well, that's not my problem, sir. That's the police department's problem to handle the public's.
So we should basically go through all of our information and redact every single thing we have proactively.
That's not what the Freedom of Information Act says, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying when someone requests it, you should honor what the Freedom of Information Act says.
What page were you looking at exemptions? I'm just curious. Page 11?
Yeah,
okay. But that's not for law enforcement. That is for, if you look at each table of contents, there's different sections on.
And if you go up, the top one is exemptions, and that's all the exemptions through there. Is it not?
Anyways, the reason I'm asking what you do for a living is trying to have a relatable personal conversation. So let's assume, I don't know, you're a waiter at a restaurant, and somebody comes in and they act like a total jerk, confrontation, ask what I assume you're saying are rhetorical questions, whether you know the answer to in a way that sounds like you don't, and you basically just are the most difficult person in the restaurant. Everybody wants to close the doors and go home. That's what I was trying to make a point here. The way you do it, and you can do it, it's the First Amendment, you can do whatever, not whatever you want, but you can say just about whatever you want. The point is, we're all human beings the same way, and if you want to have a confrontation, you're confrontational, things don't go as smoothly. That's all she's trying to tell you. That's all I was trying to have a conversation with. And so we're not against you. And that's why I was trying to figure out, like she said, what your motivation was with the park and grills and emergency vehicles and all that, because a lot of the things you say don't make any sense. Now, if you're like rhetorical, okay, that makes more sense. When you ask questions about why is it unlawful to block an emergency vehicle or park in a fire lane, or you say, let me finish, let me finish, or you.
No, you asked the outside yesterday. I watched the video.
Around 11:80.
You did.
Or like,
No, you asked the chief and Sergeant Riley.
That was the day before.
Day
That's why
before.
I was misunderstood.
so when you say stuff like that, it's like it's just commonly understood that there's lines in parking spaces, lines in parking lots. So I'm just saying, now if you're trying to make a point and start a conversation, okay, I got it. I don't know that it's going to be received quite that well. It just seems confrontational, like you're just trying to pick a fight is all it seems like. And I'm just telling you, that's the way it comes off.
All right.
But
I was looking for someone to say, hey, it's against the state law to block an ambulance. That's all I was looking for. So you can take the questions however you want. You can read it however you want. At the end of that thing, I told everybody to have a great day. I like the police. We need the police. I even told the officer in the video we needed the police. I'm sure you watched that. So,
okay, but your attitude just doesn't seem that way. I appreciate you saying that, but you're different.
that's who I am. I have an attitude.
I know,
That's who I am.
but it makes it difficult to work.
If you just don't like me, then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
It's not about liking. I'm just saying it's just difficult to deal with. But what?
How am I difficult? Because I asked so many questions about how the process works.
Well, there's multiple reasons, but we still haven't got back to what is your goal at the park? What goal
Did I not explain to you that?
that you want it to have more parking spaces? You want to restrict access? You want
I
to?
said that. I say if there's an issue going on at the park and it's a continuous issue over and over, why haven't we taken steps to fix it?
Okay, like what steps?
I don't know. I'm not a city official. I don't make those decisions.
We don't either.
Right.
Well-
and I'm not asking you guys.
So-
but I have something to do, and I'm getting public information for my next step, right? So I don't know why I have to explain to you what my thing is.
You don't have to. It's just easier.
But I am here doing it because I'm explaining. Just like Fayetteville Police put officers in front of all the schools and just start pulling people over for every little infraction, right? And I said, so you have built an area for the city, for the schools, but you didn't take into account these things, and so now you are just hammering the citizens of the town over and over for these things. Guess what they don't do anymore? They don't put officers in front of those schools ticketing people anymore. They put people there protecting and serving the community, not ticketing. Because why is the town just ticketing people for trying to get to their place of business to work or
Well, I don't think that's an accurate statement.
What?
We don't ticket people. Hey, you on your way to work? All right, here's your ticket.
That's not what I was saying. I said
Okay, that's why.
people trying to get on their way to
So,
work.
but they're doing it illegally, so that's why they're getting a ticket. If you don't break the law, you don't get a ticket.
Sure, but
Okay.
create an area where the citizens are going to do a certain thing.
Break the
and
law?
You have created a dangerous area for citizens to break the law. I'm not.
So we should close the park so they
It
don't.
has to
So
be
should we
lined so nobody can break the law. But if you make a school zone and people are passing all the cars that are blocking the whole road both ways, and a car goes around a car and you pull them over for that, what have you done for your community? Taught that person not to go around a school zone, or taught that person, hey, you need to just find a different way to work because this is going to be blocked. And as soon as they stopped doing tickets, the traffic moved clearly, freely. The police weren't there. They weren't stopping people. All of a sudden, everything just moved to gray again. So all I'm saying is, maybe we need better signage.
That's also kind of confirmation bias because the ticket. It's also confirmation bias because you're assuming one thing led to the other when it's a multivariate equation. But anyways, I don't know about the whole Fayetteville school thing, but when it comes, but my understanding is like the park. So should we build a parking garage? Should we close the park? Should we put in parking meters? What should we
Just
do?
a little bit more signage. I've taken pictures of your signage. We're going to show the city the signage. Like,
Okay, just real quick.
Can I finish talking?
No,
You just,
no. We're talking about parking here, okay? Let's just
I'm not talking
okay.
about parking.
Let's just start with the
I'm talking
parking.
about citations at the park.
Okay,
I
all
just
of
said
them are parking. Okay?
What?
Parking is all we have at the parks. Parking.
Like,
That's all we have is
The
tickets.
exception of maybe somebody smoking or something, which
and the
is,
sign says no smoking.
I mean,
Okay, and the parking is marked with paint. So if you don't know how to park in a parking lot, then maybe you shouldn't go to the park. I'm just saying that's like clearly marked. I don't know how more we could mark a parking lot.
Okay. I'm just saying maybe some more signage so
But
that.
signage to what? Don't park here?
that's the only thing that's confusing
We're
because
confused on what signage you're. I'm just curious. What kind of more signage do you need in a parking lot?
when we write those parking tickets, like you see, and now you're saying that we're the problem and we need more
I did
signage.
not say you're a problem.
Okay, I'm
Never
just
said
inferring.
The police department is a problem.
Okay, we sure feel like we're being treated like it, but that's fine. I missed
You
you.
guys take my attitude over trying to be determined to get things done.
Well, your
To
determination.
get what done? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
I want to get done.
So you're the only you're the only one that matters?
Information, and I can get whatever I want.
You
not
cannot
denying
get
you
whatever you want
Information, I can get whatever
if
I
it's
want.
public information.
Public? That's
Yeah.
what I just said.
I know.
So listen to the words. Maybe I wouldn't have to get so upset.
I don't know why you're upset, but
Because you're trying to call me out for my attitude when all I am is just a little determined. I've never cussed.
okay, that's fine. I still if we're not dealing with parking,
gigs, whatever all the other people do, I am not that person.
if we're not addressing parking, then what are we addressing? What problem is
I
at the
was
park?
trying to figure out what citations were given at the park. That's
Parking.
what I kept asking you. Does your sheet say what each citation was for?
It's right there. It says
Yeah, it
parking.
does, and I said thank you for it.
Okay.
The sheet, did I not? And this would
Yeah.
work for me.
Okay.
Why is what do you have a problem?
I'm trying to understand what.
Well, you keep trying to understand that I'm just a person getting public information. And if I want to get whatever I want, and if it's not public information that I can get, then deny me.
All right.
But don't charge me for things that are exempt from the thing. It says clearly, if you can find that it says this is for a certain section of this book, then I'll read that. I would love to. But it doesn't. It says exemptions,
No,
and that's how
it says
I understood it.
except
If
for.
I'm wrong, I will be the first person to say I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. But if I want public information, what is your problem with giving it to me?
Because you've said 100 other things
What
that.
other things? I gave it in a Freedom
No, no,
of
I'm not talking-
Information Act.
Never mind.
Was
I'm not-
open on the internet.
I'm talking about all the things you've said over the last 3 days,
3
which
days.
or 4 days or whatever. I'm not talking about this piece of paper about your records request. I was just trying to understand how we could best help you
Right.
get what you need so you can.
Well, the only reason I was here is because somebody told me they were going to charge me for review.
Do you have a flash card, a flash drive?
What?
Do you have a flash
I
drive?
do. I'll bring you one.
If you bring that to me, then we won't have to charge you for that.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And like again, thank you for doing this, so you don't have to charge me. I have never been upset about the things you have given me, or I'm determined. And if you take my attitude however you want, it's just a determination. And I'm sorry that it offends you.
It doesn't offend me. I'm just saying it's difficult to
You called me
deal
out. You
with.
said I'm looking for trouble.
That's the way it seems.
Well, just because I have an attitude doesn't make me looking for trouble. It does not.
Okay, I'm just saying
It
when
just
you're.
puts me on edge because I don't know if someone's going to come up behind me and slam me into this glass like I have been before. In
Okay.
Crawford County. They slammed my face into the glass. They pulled a shotgun on me for asking a question of the prosecutor with the camera.
So you go into every police department with angry because
No.
with
I wasn't
yes.
here angry the first time. I sat here and talked to Riley, and I get angry when I have to fight for my own rights.
But we're not fighting for. We're not denying you anything
When you're
whatsoever.
going to charge me.
We're
and
not
that's what I
den-
came in to handle. So yes, I
That's
have
not
an attitude
denying you.
because I am reading that I don't want to be charged money. That's it. That's it. That's
Go
why
to
I
the-
came in here, right?
You can
And
go
I
to
have an
the-
attitude just because you told me you're going to charge me $20 an hour, and you have no idea how long it's going to take me. Right? So then I'm like, oh shit, is this going to cost me $10?
You need
or
to read the
$25?
entire
Is it gonna cost
Arkansas
me
Freedom of
$200?
Information Handbook. That's what I would
You're
suggest.
talking over me. I didn't even get to finish what I was saying. So can you
Oh,
repeat yourself?
oh, you don't like to be talked over? I'm sorry.
Just
You stopped me from doing it, and you talked over me multiple times. Both of you have.
so you just. I don't even know where we're at this point, but the reason I was saying that, like yesterday, when you came up here. That's why I just left. I don't want to argue with you
I asked
over.
you for a piece of paper. They gave you a
Yeah,
piece of paper and said, "Will you initial and make me a copy?" You just
So-
left. I also
So
wanted
what-
to tell you the sign was loose and it could fall on someone in a windstorm, but you wouldn't even stop to listen to that.
So, when you're confrontational, and that's perception, your intention or not, it's very likely to receive a response like that. Just leave, because I don't want. Yeah. Well, you seem to be offended by it, so that's why I was.
I've never been offended.
Okay.
I've never been offended.
Alrighty.
I just
Well,
fight for my rights.
any other questions about any of this? We'll email the policy to you.
Sign the Constitution of the United States.
I'm sorry, I was talking. I didn't hear you.
Did you sign the Constitution of the United States?
No, I didn't sign a constitution.
Not sign
That
that you would protect and
that was in 1700. I did not sign the Constitution.
Did you sign a piece of paper that says you will protect and serve the Constitution of the United States?
I swore an oath.
You swore an oath.
Yeah,
The Constitution
Was
of
it a
Arkansas.
piece of paper that you signed that swore that oath?
multiple things. Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. It's my rightful information.
Okay.
Taxpayers.
All right. Anything else? Anything else we can do for you?
What else do you have to say?
Yeah. I tried to have a just conversation about what do you do, all this and stuff.
Telling
And
me that I can't have a perceived tone because it's wanting to start a fight.
I didn't say you couldn't have a tone. I'm saying the way.
My tone is the reason I want to start a fight, and it's not. It's determination because I get pushed around.
Okay. So, you have your perception, we have ours, and all I was doing is giving you feedback. If you don't want people to put the defenses up, maybe you shouldn't act in a way that puts people on the defensive. That's all the feedback I was giving you. So I didn't say you couldn't have a tone. I didn't say you couldn't act a certain way. I was saying when you do, there's...
How I should act in my life.
I didn't say you should. I was saying you'll have a different outcome with
I
things.
don't have a different outcome in
Okay.
these kind of situations. I never did. I still don't have the outcome.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha. So, anything else we can help you with?
Yeah, when's your chief coming in?
I have no idea.
Would you call him and ask him when
He's not coming in today. He's sick.
he's sick? So I'll call him tomorrow to check to see.
Tomorrow's Friday. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah,
He might be here. if
he
he's
might
not
be here.
sick
Depending.
still.
He's been not ill, well, so.
Okay. Well, I hope the best for him. Is there anybody else on duty today?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Secret.
I'm just gonna go follow you on all the rest of your stops today and film you, okay?
Okay, that's fine. If you get to,
I know it's
if
fine.
yeah,
Thank you for
if
coming.
you obstruct,
Oh, there's that obstruction.
you get in the way of it.
Right there,
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
You just told me I could do that, and then you said, well, if you obstruct.
You can to a certain extent.
Yeah, I know.
Unless it
I know
obstructs.
all my laws, and I know my rights,
Yeah.
man. I do.
Yeah.
But you use that obstruction word, and I love it.
Because like when you bring up passing or the whole obstructing an ambulance, then
That's a
it's.
different code.
I know it's a different
Yeah,
code.
okay.
There's lots of different
Just making
codes.
sure we're clear on that body camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different code for obstructing an ambulance.
There's lots of different things it can be. The point is, all I'm saying. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Have a nice day.
Did you?
I don't. Have a nice day. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
You look. Yeah.
Just disengaged.
Yeah.
So, back to our work.
Yeah. So I'll look at the 2023, 24.
Do I need to add
I
a new Freedom of
can.
Information Act for that body camera today?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a piece of paper and a pen?
No, they can be received orally. You don't have to write
Yeah.
it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving you the oral that I need this whole conversation.
And I'm giving you the oral confirmation that it's been received.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too,
Yeah.
man. You're great.
We should have stopped talking to him 20 minutes ago.
I know.